While most that's captured isn't very interesting, it means that when strange events occur, evidence of them is recorded in a way like never before.
Oh my God!
And we're now able to see things that previously would have been dismissed as fake. Be ready to be surprised, because if these 15 unbelievable moments were not filmed, no one would believe it. Number 15. Doberman and Coyotes check out each other. Despite being domesticated, dogs are very intelligent and can instinctually tell when danger lies ahead, just like you'll see in this video that was recorded by an owner as he was taking his Doberman for a walk through a nearby forest. Up ahead, two coyotes appeared from behind the bushes and stare towards the dog, trying to goad it into running up and playing with them. There may be plenty of pet dogs that would go straight up to them, but this Doberman cleverly stays put and stares them down. Later on, another coyote appears from the bushes, and the Doberman just calmly and cautiously checks its surroundings and makes sure there's plenty of distance between them all. It's most likely that these coyotes were trying to trick the Doberman and that there's a whole pack of them hiding away and ready to attack when it's close enough.
Atlas, here!
He would have made a good meal compared to the smaller mammals that live in the area and wouldn't have stood a chance against 4 or 5 coyotes. Whether this is good training on behalf of the owner or amazing instincts of the Doberman is not clear, but luckily this canine standoff ended without any injuries. Before we go on, we have a cool challenge for y'all that will take 5 seconds to complete. Let's make a deal. Just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 10 years of amazing luck and fortune. Try it. It actually works. Number 14. Shark Ninja catches blue shark with bare hands. Captain Dave Trimble is known as the Shark Ninja, and, as this video shows, is a title he has more than earned by his lack of fear and his ability when confronted with some of the world's most fearsome creatures. This was recorded off the coast of San Diego, and makes you rethink man's relationship with animals. What would you do if you saw a group of blue sharks swimming around your boat? To begin with, he pours chum into the water to attract them even closer, and almost immediately, you can see the fins emerging from the water. For most people, this would be reason to turn around and head home, but not Captain Trimble. With a big grin on his face, he watches the water, leans down on the side of the boat, and reaches in. He grabs a juvenile shark and lifts it out of the water as it thrashes around trying to escape. He can only hold on to it for a few moments before it breaks free and goes back in. But that's all the captain needs to show that he truly is a shark ninja. Number 13. Ravens can talk. In the animal kingdom, there are countless different ways of communication, such as sounds and actions, but we, as humans, can't understand them for ourselves. Some species, however, have found ways to communicate with us, whether it's the way a dog looks at us with its cute eyes, or parrots learning how to speak.
What do you want? I want to go back. You want to go back? Okay.
But have you ever heard of a raven talking?
All right, Mom.
This clip proves that you don't have to be Dr. Dolittle to speak with birds, and that ravens are far more intelligent than you might assume. This one is able to perfectly mimic the words that are spoken to it. It can say hello and hi and replicate the sounds that we make as well.
You say hi. Hi. Good job!
It isn't just this individual that can do this, but all white-necked ravens that are found throughout Africa. They have developed this ability to get food and trick other animals in the wild. And it, of course, is a brilliant skill to show humans to get treats from them too. Just imagine being the first person to have found this out. It must have been quite a surprise, and would explain why, in some cultures, they're believed to be vessels that carry the souls of people. Number 12. Kookaburra Laughing. One emotion that we humans exhibit that's rare in the animal kingdom is laughter. Hyenas certainly make similar sounds, and other species seem to enjoy certain games and situations, but this video proves that laughter may be more prevalent than we could have possibly thought. This amazing-looking bird is a kookaburra, which is native to Australia and New Guinea. You can see them in zoos around the world, and this particular one lives in an enclosure at the Roos and Moore Zoo in Nevada. As you can see, it's developed quite a sense of humor, and when it's told a funny joke, along with a laugh, it bursts out in laughter too. This isn't a behavior reserved for just the zookeepers either. It will laugh along with jokes told by visitors to the zoo, as well in a way that's reminiscent of that one friend that we all have that laughs much louder and more animatedly than the joke. Nonetheless, it's almost impossible to listen to a Kookaburra laughing and not begin smiling yourself. Its joy is practically infectious. Have you ever heard a laugh as fun as this? Number 11. Elephant wants to join and interview with her favorite person. We all know someone who simply has to be the center of attention no matter what's happening. But it turns out this behavior isn't just limited to humans. There are plenty of animals that are like this too. Here a film crew is setting up to interview Lek, a worker at the Elephant Nature Park in Thailand. But there's someone starting to feel left out of the excitement. Just as the interview starts, you'll notice one of the elephants in the background begins to slowly move towards the action without anyone noticing. Like someone on the street trying to get in frame during a news report, it gives up on its subtle approach and starts walking directly towards the camera. And Lek does her best to keep eye contact and continue on, even though she knows the elephant called Famay is right behind her. Eventually, she's forced to stop to help Famay from knocking over the camera, and even though the plan is to resume elsewhere, the elephant has other ideas, doing its best to stop her from leaving. Number 10. A tiger close-up like you've never seen before. Tigers are the largest species of cat in the world, and are the apex predators wherever they live. In the wild, they can be found across Asia where they prey upon animals like deer and boar, but their behavior in captivity has also made them a popular pet for those who want something more exciting than your typical house cat. You might think that it's impossible to domesticate a tiger, but this video shows just how friendly they can be. This Saber, who is a white Bengal tiger, and as you can see, he's practically just a large tabby cat. He feeds from his owner's hand and is extremely loving and affectionate. Don't mistake this for meaning that all tigers are this amenable though. He has been hand-fed since he was 6 weeks old, and it's the result of lifelong training. Of the 5,000 tigers kept in captivity in the US, a tiny fraction are like this, and the others wouldn't think twice about attacking a person who got this close. Still, it's incredible that one of the world's most effective predators can become so docile under the right conditions, and shows that every creature can have a friendly side if they're treated in the right way. Number 9. Leopard behavior. Leopards are native of Africa and parts of Asia, and are one of the most dominant predators in their habitats. You've probably seen footage of big cats like these hunting, but it doesn't always happen like you see in wildlife documentaries. You'd normally expect them to chase down their prey, leap at them, and make a deadly bite. But in this video, the behavior is far more playful. At first, you can hardly believe that the leopard and impala are so close to one another without something happening. Why has the leopard not attacked? And why has the impala not tried to run away? There are points when they feel so sure about their position that they even look away. But for the leopard, this is just a game before it goes in for the kill. It swings its paws at the impala, who moves back, and at one point tries to escape but is held in place by the leopard. Later on, the impala calmly lies on the ground with the leopard behind it, still appearing to not feel like it's in any danger at all. And the two almost seem like they're friends. Then, the leopard opens its jaws around the impala, but even this isn't an attack, and it holds off on the finishing bite. With visible wounds on its body, the impala finally becomes more concerned and tries to get away, but the leopard chases it and brings it back. Finally, it kills it and carries it in its mouth back to the den. And the reason for waiting this long? According to experts, it's to ensure the meat was as fresh as possible for when it was delivered to the leopard's cubs. Number 8. Dangerous landings, great pilots. With the advances in technology, it's arguably easier than ever to safely fly and land a passenger plane. But pilots still need to be expertly trained just in case the conditions are too tricky for automatic systems to handle. One of the times when they earn their salaries is when the wind speeds increase, and it can make things so unpredictable that only quick human reactions can get the plane to set its wheels down on the tarmac without incident. Seeing a plane wobble like this just before it touches down is a scary prospect, and probably feels even more worrying to those on board as they see the ground approaching. In this first clip, it looks as if if the wings are about to hit the floor, but somehow the pilot manages to keep it under control and aborts the landing so he can turn around and try again. In this second clip, something's gone wrong with the front wheel, which appears to be pointing in the wrong direction, and the friction creates a plume of smoke before it eventually sets on fire. Again, the pilot of this JetBlue plane keeps calm and does exactly what his training taught him to do, and manages to bring the jet to a halt without any further damage or injury to anyone on board. Number 7. Big ships crashing. Big ships are some of the most difficult vehicles in the world to control, because in a time of emergency, it can take a long time to alter course. The longest ship ever built, for example, took 5.5 miles to stop from its cruising speed and needed 2 miles to turn around. And while the boat in this video is far smaller than that, it still faces a similar problem when it finds itself on course towards the ships moored at the dock. It's traveling at a ridiculously high speed on its approach, and the captain can't do very much apart from sounding the horn to warn people of his approach. Despite doing his best to slow it down, and amongst cries from people on the shore, there's only one way that this is going to go, and the ship crashes through a gap between 2 others. This could have been far more destructive than it was in the end, but still caused thousands of dollars worth of damage. Normally, a ship wouldn't approach port at such speeds, of course, but in this case, a fault developed in the engine room that meant that there was a delay between inputting controls and the rudder and motor reacting to them. It's incredible that no one was injured and that the crew was able to walk away unscathed. Number 6. Unbelievable moment. Due to the length of their vehicles and the weights they need to carry, truck drivers are some of the most skilled drivers on the road. They have to face changing conditions and potentially unwieldy cargo. But one of the trickiest things they have to face is when they finally reach their destination and need to deliver their load. This truck in China has supplies for a building site, but unfortunately for the driver, there's no one on hand to help remove the sticks from his vehicle. He's in a rush for another pickup, so he decides that he has no choice but to deal with it himself. Rather than exiting his cab and trying to pull it off by hand, he comes up with an ingenious idea. He slowly drives forward, then reverses quickly and brakes. As he does so, the delivery slides backwards a bit, and after a couple more attempts, it hangs precariously off the back. The truck is tipped upwards, but the driver is able to accelerate forwards and leave the cargo on the floor where it needs to be, and is free to travel to his next pickup destination. It might seem reckless, but it certainly was effective and doesn't seem to have caused too much damage. Number 5. Elephant. Elephants are the largest land-based animal in the world and can stand up to 11 feet tall with a weight of up to 7 tons. They are, therefore, extremely powerful and incredibly dangerous when they're scared, but sometimes there's no choice but to approach one. This video was recorded in Naboisho Conservancy in Kenya, where a group of tourists has spotted a bull that appeared to have been shot by a poacher. A veterinary team showed up to help it and removed a poisoned dart before working on a way to capture it and check it for any injuries. They tranquilized it and surrounded it. They made sure it fell to the ground in a controlled manner. Once it was safe to do so, they cut a piece of flesh from around where the dart had struck and removed as much of the poison as they could. They then sewed up the wound and waited for the elephant to regain consciousness, so it could walk back out into the reserve. Incidents like these are, unfortunately, not that uncommon because of the number of poachers trying to kill elephants for their ivory. Luckily, on this occasion, the majestic animal went on to make a full recovery and was able to rejoin its family. Number 4. A funny man. Life isn't always so easy as a shopkeeper, as this next video shows, where a customer walks in and begins acting in a less than polite way. He reaches for something off a shelf and puts it down on the counter, and after asking how much it is, he finds the cash from his wallet. Rather than passing it to the shopkeeper, he throws it to him, something that doesn't go down too well. The man behind the register takes his change and throws it back at him, and it can be seen falling to the floor. What would you do in this situation? Rather than accepting that he deserved it, the customer then goes and finds a drink and asks how much it is. The shopkeeper tells him, and he points to the cash on the floor, saying, "There it is," before walking out of the store. Neither one of the men comes across too favorably from this footage, and it's almost unbelievable that someone could be this rude.
Oh, really? I'm gonna take you down!
Nevertheless, we're sure that karma probably came back to get him later in the day. Hopefully. Hopefully the can of soda had been shaken up and made him rethink how he treats other people. Number 3. Smart monkey. Monkeys are our closest living relatives in the animal kingdom. And while most people would like to think that we've evolved to be far more intelligent than them, sometimes they do things that are far beyond what some humans can do. There's a lot of talk about how we are too trusting of technology, particularly now it's everywhere in our homes, and it's always listening. But it seems monkeys aren't falling for it like we are. Here's a video that was recorded by a drone in a zoo in the Dutch town of Arnhem, which managers were hoping would become part of a promotional campaign. Most animals caught on film simply back off and are unsure how to react to the strange flying object. But in the chimpanzee enclosure, things are different. They hatch a plan to attack the drone. One of the chimps smashes it with a stick so hard it falls to the ground, and then a group of them went down to the wreckage to investigate it further. While the drone was destroyed beyond repair, somehow the camera managed to survive and caught some amazing close-up footage of the animals. Number 2. Shark fighter. Sharks are renowned for being some of the fiercest creatures on the planet, and are the cause of a number of injuries and fatalities every year. But there are some people who show no fear in the face of one, and will catch them with their bare hands to take home to their family for dinner. This video, that was recorded in Louisiana, shows a man just casually driving home on his bike with his recent catch. The woman holding the camera and filming from her car can't believe what she's seeing, and he calmly explains that he just battled with it in the water and has easily overcome it. It's quite a big one too, at around 4 or 5 feet long, and is dripping with blood, which supports his story. It certainly wouldn't have given up without a fight, and it's testament to his ability that he doesn't seem to have any injuries from the experience. It'll be more than enough to feed his whole family for a few days, and fresh from the ocean, it'll definitely make for a delicious meal. Number 1. The turtle looked like the island from God of War. There have so far been 14 games in the God of War series, and they have become known for their incredible creativity, rich worlds, and unusual characters and creatures. But what if you were to find out that some elements of the games are actually present in real life? This video was recorded by a diver who was swimming on a reef in Belize when he encountered this incredibly unusual turtle. It's covered in moss and has fascinating eyes, and it looks just like Gaia from God of War, who is the primordial entity of Earth and the narrator of all the games. She only appeared in the second and third installments, however, but made such an impression that when this video was first shared, fans immediately saw the link between the two. Can you believe that a fictional character from a video game looks so much like an animal discovered on our planet? And are there any others that you can think of that seem to have been born from the imagination of a graphic designer, but can actually be seen in the flesh? Make sure to let us know. Which of these did you find to be the most unbelievable? And do you believe it happened now that you've seen the video? Make sure to let us know in the comments section. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now. See you next time.